Hi and welcome. I have a bad habit of playing with my hair when I can see myself in a camera. I'm going to try my very hardest not to do that. So I apologize in advance because I'm really bad at not continuing to touch it and move it out of my face, especially when it's like this because it's always in my face. So please bear with me. That's the last I'm going to do of it, I promise. At least that's the last I'm going to try. Well, that's not what I meant. I'm going to try to not do it. Okay. My name is Lanae, also known as Hey Pretty on Instagram, and I was given the opportunity to talk to you about creatively creating opportunities for sales, which for most of us, that is a very daunting thing. Trust me, I get it. I feel the same way. I grew up a very introverted person. I grew up very quiet, very shy, not confident enough to be able to certainly not initiate a conversation, but enough so that I didn't even want to carry on a conversation with somebody who initiated one with me. Even up until a few years ago, 3 years ago, in fact, when I became a mascara artist, I was the kind of person who I would intentionally wait for an empty elevator so that I didn't have to get on the elevator with a random stranger because I didn't want them to talk to me. I didn't want to have a conversation with somebody I didn't know. I would use the self-checkout line in the grocery store because I didn't want my grocery clerk to ask me how my day was. Not because I'm a jerk, not because I'm not interested in talking to somebody, it's because I wasn't confident. I didn't have the self-esteem or the confidence to be able to do that. I couldn't put myself out there. It was something that gave me extreme anxiety, and it just was so uncomfortable to me. In walks mascara, and suddenly I find myself in a position of sales where sales and being an introvert, they are like pretty clashy. You can't have one and have the other. If you're going to be in sales, you have to be able to talk and associate and carry on a conversation with somebody. And so it was a very, very hard thing for me to do. So I had to come up with some ideas. I had to come up with some plans, and I had to create some opportunities for myself creatively to create those opportunities to share my product with people. Posting and praying just isn't going to work. I can post all day long, every single day, a million times a day, or even once a day, or anywhere in between, and hope that what I post or what I say catches on with somebody. And maybe it will, to somebody here and there, but it's not a viable route to improve and to grow my business. And I certainly am not going to grow as a person, as a mascara artist, if that's what I'm relying on. So I have my notes here, and I've come up with a few key things that have helped me. I'm a talker, so I'm going to try to get through this as fast as I possibly can. There's definitely going to be a lot of information that we don't go over, that I'm going to miss. I'm sure there's things that I'm meaning to say that are just not going to come out because I forget and because I'm nervous because this is a video and there's a bunch of you watching, but I'm going to do my very, very best. So bear with me. But always, 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 I am open and available to every single one of you, no matter what, at any time. Sometimes that means in the middle of the night because I am a non-sleeper. Ask me your questions. I am happy to help in any way that I can, because I've learned that if I ask questions, if I get other people's advice, if I learn some of their techniques and I can be brave enough to try them, I can grow and I can succeed and I can be a freaking fantastic mascara artist and I can have an awesome business. But in order to do that, I have to be willing to put myself out there. I have to be willing to do things that are in my wheelhouse for sure, but while they're in my wheelhouse, I still want to kind of push myself a little bit outside of my comfort zone so that I can grow. So in getting creative, creating sales, it has to be creative in order for you to grow, in order for you to improve, in order for you to flourish and bloom to the maximum potential that you possibly can. if you didn't have to get creative with it, then we would all be doing the exact same thing. And guess what? The exact same thing is not going to work the same for every single one of us. So the creative part of it is incredibly important. So hopefully I'm able to share with you a couple of ideas that not are just things that you'll be able to use, but will also kind of trigger and get the wheel spinning in your own head so that you can take those beyond and absolutely explode your business in ways that work most beneficial individually to you. So to start out, very, very first thing, there is a major difference between sharing and providing valuable content and valuable information and valuable products with strangers versus cold calling. This is strictly my opinion. I know that cold calling in certain aspects, it works for some people. It is something that is 100% a turnoff for me. If I get that stereotypical, hey girl, have you tried my product? Email or text message or whatever, phone call, instantly, it doesn't matter how great and wonderful their product is, I'm not interested. I do not want to be cold called. I do not want to be sold on somebody's product. Instead, I want to be told about something that is beneficial and productive or helpful or generates value in my life. If somebody can provide something along those lines, my interest is piqued and take all my money. But if they say, hey girl, have you tried this whatever? Nope, click. I don't want anything to do with it. But that does not mean that you cannot expand beyond your warm market. So your warm market is your friends and your family, the people that are in your circles, the people that you talk to, the people that you have relationships with. Your cold market are the people that are beyond that. They're the people that are the contacts of your warm market that are not your own contacts, or people that are complete random 100% strangers to you. And you can go through your warm market all day long, but eventually your warm market is going to dry up. You need to expand into your cold market in order to continue with a sustainable business where you are constantly growing and constantly producing, which is what the majority of us want to do. So the difference between that is this. Never call up somebody and say, do you want to try my product? I have this product that's amazing and phenomenal, and I thought of you, and it would be really, really great if you would try it or if you would use it or whatever. That is just please don't. Having said that, I understand that there are people that do that and it works well for them and it's successful for them. However, that's not my jam. That's not what I'm here to talk about. What I am here to talk about is the random stranger that you come across throughout your day, the opportunities that you create where you don't know them, they don't know you, but you have an opportunity to share your product, to share your love, to share the value in what you have with them without being pushy, without being salesy, and without making them feel uncomfortable or like you're needing them to give you their money. Because we don't want any of that. Instead, we want we want them to think, oh, she has something of value to me that I want to try. So the number one thing, I have a couple of ideas of how to do that. Sorry, I know I'm getting way ahead of myself. So the number one thing, in my opinion, and please, please, please know that this is just my opinion, and I am no professional, but what I'm going to tell you, what I do, it works incredibly well. Even for somebody like me, even for somebody that has zero makeup experience, somebody that has zero sales experience, somebody that is complete introvert, that does not feel comfortable talking to people, even somebody like me can do this and find success. So I'm going to give you some of those tips. Number one, we live in an era of technology. Technology is your friend, and you have the opportunity to use it to your advantage in enormous ways. It's not a necessity. You don't have to. Nobody's going to make you get on Facebook or Instagram and have an account and share your product or whatever. But if you are not utilizing that to your advantage, then you are missing out on a giant opportunity of something that can elevate your business and take you literally to the other side of the world if you want it to. You don't have to do it that way, but if you're not, there's a big opportunity that you're missing out on. One way to capitalize on that is utilizing the things that you are already involved in. We all are involved in something outside of our own teeny tiny little personal box, outside of our immediate family, outside of our spouse. We're all involved in something because we all have hobbies, we all have interests, we all have things that we like to do for ourselves, which is why we're here, right? Which is why we're makeup artists, because we want something outside of this tiny little box that we operate in. We want something more, we want something bigger than that. So we're going to stretch ourselves to that, which means that most likely you're involved in some kind of group or community, something or other, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's in person, whether it's a church thing, whether it's a dance group, whether it's a women's group, if you are 60 years or older, if you are a teenager, if whatever the case may be, if you're in school, if you have a job, we're involved in something. Everybody is involved in something, and you can utilize that to your advantage. So for me, for example, I am married to a retired police officer. In our community, I live in Utah, in the state of Utah, we actually have a statewide Facebook group for women who are married to police officers. Well, I get to use that group to my advantage, not for the sake of posting and saying, here, I have this product, you guys should all buy it, but instead by utilizing that group to not just get to know these women, but allow these women to get to know me and what I like, what I represent, what my interests are, what my hobbies are. And I can easily at any time invite these women and say, and you can do this with any group, it doesn't matter where you are or what your group is. Women like to do things for themselves. They like to have an opportunity to either pamper themselves or to feel good about themselves or to learn something as far as self-care goes. And we just so happen to have a product that fits right along those lines. So one thing that I have an opportunity to do within that police-wise group is say, hey, I would be interested or willing in hosting a get-together for anybody who's available, anybody who wants to come over, and we'll just have a girls' night. We'll stay in, we'll order some pizza or bring a snack or a treat or whatever, and we'll just pamper ourselves. I have these products that there's no charge, but if you want to do a makeover, if you want to learn some tips or tricks, then I'd be happy to apply it for you. If somebody else wants to come and bring their nail kit and do nails, you're welcome to do that. If somebody else wants to do eyebrow threading, you're welcome to do that. If somebody wants to offer pedicures, let's do that. Let's just have a night where we all get together and we pamper each other and we forget about all of our woes and we forget about other things that we're doing and we just get together and we have fun. You can do that literally with any group, anywhere. Another idea is, okay, let me go back. So in doing so, you don't have to do it in a way that you're pressuring anybody to buy your product. All you're doing is offering them something that may be a benefit to them. There's no pressure, there's no sales, there's no anything that has a negative connotation regarding pushiness or salesiness or anything like that. It's just simply, I would like to do this for my own benefit, and I'm pretty sure that there's a bunch of you that would like to take part in that too. So let's all get together and do it together. It's great, it works wonderful, it's amazing. Another way that you can do that is by talking to those same people in those same groups and saying, hey, I'm involved in something that I would like to grow at. Is anybody interested or is anybody available in helping me? All I need to do is borrow your face. Is anybody interested in coming over, or I'll meet you in a public place. You can meet in a coffee shop or wherever. And is anybody interested in meeting me and allowing me to give you a makeover in exchange for a before and after picture? And then you can enjoy your makeover. It's just for my benefit, for me to practice. No pushiness, no sales, no product, blah, 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 blah. All it is anybody willing to help me? And you will be surprised of how many women would absolutely love to have a makeover, especially when your Facebook profile or your Instagram or whatever it is a picture of your face, which it should be. Your Facebook profile should be your face, or your Instagram should be your face, representing your brand, representing your whatever your product is. When they see that and they say, hey, maybe I could have that too, you're going to get people up the wazoo that are interested and willing to help you, because they want what makes you feel good. They want that same feeling. They want it too, and they can see it in you, and they want it for themselves. Switching gears, another way that you can creatively create opportunities for yourself is, we all are out in public all the time. Me more so sometimes than makes me comfortable, because even though I'm in sales, I still am an introvert, and it still is something that I have to push myself out of my comfort zone in order to not choose the self-checkout at the grocery store. But I intentionally don't. I intentionally go to an actual woman who is checking out at Target or Walmart or wherever I am, just so that I can create an opportunity for myself just in case. So one thing that I do is, we'll say Target, for example. The checkers at Target, part of their job is they are taught to interact with their customers. Ask them how their day was. Ask them if they found everything they were looking for. Compliment their hair. Compliment their looks. Compliment their cute kids. Do whatever. Just make their experience here at Target personable, right? Okay, so we all know that about Target. Well, guess what? That's an opportunity that you can capitalize on. So one thing that you always want to have available to you is business cards. Always, always, always. I always have my business cards in all of my bags, in my car, in my gym bag, in my coat pockets, in if I'm going on a date with my husband and I'm not taking my purse with me for whatever reason, or let's say we're going to a jazz game, I don't want to carry my purse. I'll always put business cards in my pocket. Always. Or if I don't have pockets, guess what? My husband holds them for me. I always have business cards available. Well, I'm at the checkout line at Target, and my checkout clerk says, hey, how are you? How's your day going? Fine, thanks. How's yours? We're having this conversation, this very, very insignificant. We're going to forget about each other 3 minutes after, I'm gone. My checkout is done. But what I want to do is leave a lasting impression on that person, because I want to take the opportunity to tell her about what I have. I'm going to share my product. There's a difference in sharing versus selling. I'm going to share my product with a perfect, totally random stranger that I never otherwise would have run into. And she's going to remember who I am after we have this exchange. Okay, so, hey, how are you doing? Great. Did you find everything that you were looking for? Yep, I did. Thanks. Awesome. We could leave it at that. Or you could say, I really love your hair color. It really complements your skin tone quite well. Guess what? This 20-year-old Target clerk is going to be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's so nice of you. Or this 50-year-old woman, whatever it is, the case may be, they're going to have something to say about what you just said to them, about how you complimented them, whether their eye color is beautiful, or you really love their haircut, or you really love their hair color, or you really like their nail polish, whatever the case may be. Compliment them on their looks. And for me, something that I like to do is compliment them on either their skin tone or their structured jawline. Like, you have a really beautiful jawline. You have a really prominent structured jawline. I promise you, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. And then I say, I happen to be a makeup artist, and I would love it if I had an opportunity to do a makeover on you for my portfolio. I realize that you don't know me. That's okay. I totally am willing to meet you in public if that's something that you're interested in. It's totally for free. There's no obligation for you to buy anything whatsoever. I just really like this feature of yours, whatever the case may be. I just really love your eye color. I really love your eye shape. I just really love the way your hair complements your skin tone, whatever it is. And then it's okay if she says no. It's okay. And actually, most of the time they're going to say no because you are a total stranger to them, and it would be really weird for them to say, heck yeah, let's go, I'm off in 15 minutes. Don't stress. This is where your business card comes in handy. If it's something that you're interested in, that's okay. Even if they tell you no, say, that's okay, I totally understand. Think about it, and if it's something that you think you might want to do later, here's my card. It has my Instagram on there. You can check out my page and see what it's all about. If you try and change your mind, get a hold of me, and we'll schedule a time that we can meet. Guess what? You have just created a giant opportunity for you to share your product with a total random stranger. And you can do that all day long. You can do it with the gas station clerk. You can do it with your waiter at your restaurant out to dinner. You can do it with the checkout person. You can do it with somebody that's standing in the makeup aisle in Target trying to pick between their CoverGirl or their Maybelline liquid foundation that you know you have something way better. You can do it all day long. It doesn't have to be in your face. It doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be something that you're being pushy. And it doesn't have to be something that they tell you yes in order for you to share what you love and share what you know. You don't ever want to force it. You can have an opportunity where you're checking out. In fact, okay, let's use this one for an example. A couple years ago, I was going on a mascara retreat and my suitcase zipper broke. I needed to grab a new suitcase. So I ran over to TJ Maxx and I was in the checkout line with my suitcase and I went up to the girl. It happened to be, at the time, she was an 18-year-old girl. I know that now. I didn't know it at the time. She was an 18-year-old girl, and she's like, oh, this is such a cute suitcase. Looks like you're going on a trip. Well, guess what? I took that as an opportunity to say, yes, actually, the makeup company that I'm with, I earned an incentive trip that I get to go with some of the other top earners in my group on my team. We're going to Las Vegas, and my suitcase broke. She says, oh, you sell makeup? As a matter of fact, I do. Would you be interested in a makeover? At any time, I'd be happy to do that. Or if it's something you want to learn a little bit more about, here's my card. Give her your card, the end of it. Well, guess what? She took my card. She looked up my Instagram account. She got a hold of me. She said, okay, this is something that I've heard of. This is something that some of my friends have talked about. This is something that I want to try. Can you help me with this? As a matter of fact, I can. And then we go into the color matching process and into, all of that. And she has been a customer of mine for the last 2 years. And that's why I know that she was 18 at the time because she's 20 now. She's been a customer of mine for a couple of years, all because I capitalized on an opportunity that came to me that it was an opportunity that didn't fall in my lap, but it was a door that was open that I created an opportunity for me to share my product and my passion for what I have with her. Not everybody's going to be a success story, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be. But as long as you're putting yourself out there, you will find success and you will find the people that are your people that can relate to you, and whether it's your look or your personality or your way of doing things, you'll find the people that are going to jive with you and how you are based on the person that you are. But you're not going to find those opportunities if you don't step through the doorway and create those opportunities when they present themselves. It doesn't have to be a forced conversation. It can be something that's as easy and as simple and as natural as it can be. But if it's something, let's say you are at a restaurant and you are signing your receipt and you hand over the receipt or the check to your waitress and she happens to compliment your wedding ring. That's not going to be something that you say, okay, so she says, oh my gosh, your wedding ring is beautiful. I really, really love it. You're not going to say, thanks, I'm a mascara artist. Do you want a makeover? She's going to be like, no. It's just going to be weird. You don't have to force it, but what you can do is slide your card into that signed receipt and to say, thanks so much. I think you're absolutely beautiful. Let me know if you would like a complimentary makeover at some point. If not, that's okay. Have an awesome night. It's super, super easy. There are so many ways to share what you have and what you love, even with random complete strangers, as long as you are willing to talk about what you have, to share it versus sell it, and to capitalize on the opportunities, capitalize on those open doors as they open up to you, and make something of them. It can be scary. I get that. Trust me. I know how scary it is. I know how scary it is. But I also know that if you are willing to put yourself out there and to share the things that you love, you will find success in many of them. Not all of them are going to be success stories. Not all of them are going to work out, but I guarantee that none of them are going to work out if you don't at least try. There are so many different ways, so many different opportunities that you can create, that you can make, that you can come into if you're just willing to put yourself out there. My Uber driver is an artist on my team. My gas station attendant is a longtime customer. My TJ Maxx checker outer is also a longtime customer, all because I was willing to put myself out there and create these opportunities from these doors that are opened. So like I said, there are a bazillion different ways that you can creatively create opportunities for yourself. And we didn't even scratch the very, very surface of anything, but hopefully you found ways that you can have just a little bit more confidence in what you are. And even if you don't have the confidence in your abilities, have the confidence in your product, because your product is far superior than anything else that has ever been in the cosmetic industry ever. And you can take that knowledge and use that as your confidence. You can use that as your ammo. You can use that as your backing for what you have and what you're doing. And you will figure out the rest. I promise you that. If you have any questions, I am available pretty much at any time. I am 100% happy to help in any way that I can. Thank you for being here so long. I'm sorry this is so long. You guys are amazing and you're rock stars if you've listened to this whole thing. But let me know how I can help. I know how scary it is and I know how daunting it can be, but I promise you, if you're willing to put yourself out there, you'll find success too. Thanks so much for watching and have such an awesome day.